I got my Feyachi flip up rear, front and rear sights, flip up sights. I got this on the behest of one of the people who were kind enough to comment on the my first video I did regarding firearms. As I said previously, I am brand spanking new to this. I don't pretend to be an expert. I am just trying stuff on for size and see what fits. And I unveiled some things I got to go along with my new purchase. And the one generous commenter was sharing some things with me, and he said that the only thing that he would recommend I get, in addition to what I had, was some backup sights. So because what I did, I bought a Feyachi red dot scope, and so on his advice, I went and got some Feyachi flip up sights. And let's go ahead and take a look at it. There's no frills on the box, so usually I like to look at the packaging, but it's just a plain box. Comes from China, so we do have to be wary of poor quality control. Not a slam against the wonderful country of China, just a matter of fact. When you're buying purchase products from China, one of the things that is often overlooked is quality control. It's looked at as a sometimes an unnecessary expense when they're producing these products. So what we have is the front sight. We have the front sight, rear sight, and it comes with an Allen wrench. That's all that's in the box. No additional instructions or anything else. So let's see what we got here. We're opening up the front sight now. Comes in these little Ziploc bags. So here's the front sight, and it looks like I am trying to see how you can adjust this thing. There's a mention of a tool, but I don't. Here's my thing, guys. If there's a tool that's needed, now this is my issue that I'm having already. And it's not a slam against the actual functioning of this product. I have no idea how it functions. But I was reading about there's a tool that's needed to adjust the elevation and windage. But if you need a tool to do that, why not include the tool? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Maybe I'm missing something, but if there's a tool needed to make your device work properly, to get it to work optimally, why not include the tool? I don't know. Take notes, somebody. So you just flip it up. It doesn't need a release punch to flip it up. It does just flip up. To push it back down, there's a little button thing here. You push it and it flips. You push it real hard and it flips down. There you go. There you go. It feels pretty sturdy. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, it has these little screws, and Allen wrench screws. And in all honesty, I'm going to just tell it like it is. On the Feyachi one, what I do, I always put a little Loctite, medium strength, because I don't want it to be permanently locked. I want to be able to break the seal easily. When I attach these things, when I did my red dot, I was making some adjustments, and I wanted to change position. So in attempts to take this off with the included Allen wrench, and again, I did know I used the medium strength Loctite, not full strength, not permanent bond, but medium strength. It stripped the screw. The screw had just stripped all out inside, and it was just free spinning in there, and it was a nightmare. The screw is ruined, and basically what I ended up having to do is get another riser, because it was on that 1-inch riser that comes with it. And so I had to basically get another riser, and I'm on the hunt for some steel screws. These screws, I believe, are made of aluminum, and they will strip out. So be careful, be very careful when you're turning it, and don't twist it the wrong way or over tighten it, because you will eventually strip these things out. If possible, and I'll be on the hunt. If you guys know where you can get replacement screws for these things, let me know in the comments below. But do replace these screws, because especially if you're like me and like to use Loctite to keep these things from vibrating free from after cycling rounds through the firearm, you're going to have a rough time not stripping these screws. So that being said, let's move on to the rear sight. All right, so here's the rear sight. Much of the same. Now this has a little wiggle to it. This one did not. It had a little bit, but not as much as the rear sight. There's a lot of wiggle to it right here. Again, I imagine since it's going to be a backup to the red dot, not incredibly big deal, but it's a little disappointing. You don't want that wiggle. You want it to be tight when you snap it in place. Now this does have, it looks like some windage correction here. The rear sight does not appear to have any elevation, and it is pretty firm, so you're not going to accidentally knock this around. You can hear the little click probably. And so it does have the close quarters, and you flip that back for the I guess the close quarters and the long range right there. So it does flip back and forth. Again, same thing here. To let it back down, you just press in the little button, and it's firm. You might want to put a little oil on that. There you go. Because again, what I'm noticing, this is aluminum, and just from me pressing it, what I've noticed is that it scrapes some of that metal right there, and eventually that will wear down if you're having to force that all the time. Because again, like I said about these screws, it's aluminum, and I stripped that one screw down to nothing where it was a booger to get out. I really had to basically make some grooves to screw that thing out. And that's it. That's what it looks like. Here's the Allen wrench. Let's see how this thing fits in. Okay, put it in. The Allen wrench fits snugly. There you go. Breaks through and loosens, and you put that on your rail. Let's see here, loosen that up. So because I'm going to go ahead and put this on my rail. There you go. Loosen that up. So first impressions, it is okay. I can't say great, good. It's okay for what I can tell, for like just fooling around with it. There's a thing, guys, that you'll hear a lot of people say about these budget things is like good for the money. And the one thing is true. Now, you do get what you pay for oftentimes. That is true. But I don't believe in good for your money. Whether you spend $20 or $100, you have basically bad, good, and great. And that's where things fall. You will never hear me say good for the money. If you're making a product and you make it for $23, what a customer should look for is, hey, you're making a great product and you're offering it for $20. That should be the expectation. If you're spending your hard-earned money on something, it shouldn't be, oh, well, I only spent $20 for it. Oh, well, no. If you spend your hard-earned money, whatever amount that might be, you have a right to expect a quality working product. It might not have all the bells and whistles that a higher expense item may have, but you should expect a decently functioning product. So that's my gauge when I'm talking about things. It's not going to be good for the money. It's going to be either bad, good, or great. And that's basically my scale regardless of price. Let's go ahead and put this on the weapon. Before you attach anything to your firearm, make sure you unload it. So we went ahead and did that. And so far, guys, it looks nice. I'm not disappointed from appearances, but we will soon put this through its paces. We're waiting on a few more accessories to come on in before we actually take it out and see what it does, get everything zeroed in, and I will give you a follow-up on that. But for right now, I can say it's okay. We'll see when we put it through its paces, but first impressions, it's okay. Guys, thank you for watching, and leave your comments in the description below. I really look forward to hearing from you. Be safe in the meanwhile and live the dream.